What's up guys, welcome back to HMHT. So finally Apple has moved on to weekly updates when it comes to iOS betas. Today Apple released iOS 14.5 beta 5. It's the update that we are looking at on my device here, and since I'm already updated, let me just go ahead and show you some other updates that Apple managed to release, because it's been a busy day for Apple. So this is the Apple developer website as you are seeing here, and you can see some operating systems that they released. macOS Big Sur 11.3 beta 5 came out today, and also iOS 14.5 and iPadOS 14.5 beta 5 all available today. watchOS 7.4 beta 5, and finally tvOS 14.5 beta 5. And also iWorks applications have been updated, so make sure you update your apps in order to get the latest functionality. Now it's interesting to mention that at the time I'm recording this video, this iOS 14.5 beta 5 is available to not only developer beta testers but to public beta testers also. So irregardless of the profile you have, this is an update that you can update to and check out the new features and changes that came with this update. Now for me, the update size was actually 215 megabytes, and this is for the iPhone X, and I was basically updating from iOS 14.5 beta 4. So if you have a similar device, then look around the same size, or basically the update size will range between 200 to about 350 megabytes depending on the device that you have, and also if you're already on the beta. If you are not coming from a beta version, let's say you are on iOS 14.4.1 or so and you're updating to this version, then your update size is going to be around 5 to 8 gigs. So that's the update size for me, and let's go ahead and see some of the software changes that came with this update. So if we go to see the build number here, you can see the new build number that we have, and it's 18E5186A. Back-to-back A updates. Before on beta 4 we had an A at the end, and the build number that we had on beta 4, just in case you were curious, was 18E5178A, and basically we've retained that A with this beta 5. We were sort of expecting an RC release today, but Apple just went ahead and basically released a beta 5. But either way, give it to us, we take it as it is, and it's good to see that. And if we go to see the modem firmware that came with this update, you can see it here, and it's 4.03.05. I believe before it was 4.03.05. I'm not sure if this has been updated for the iPhone X, but for some select devices the modem firmware has been updated. I will have to verify, and I might update you in the notes below whether the modem firmware has been updated. And if we go back just to see how much storage is being taken up by this update, so if we go to where it says iPhone storage, my phone is a 256 gig and it's almost full, and it's on a beta. Can you imagine that? So it takes a moment to load, but as you can see, here we are. And as you can see, the system is taking up 6.79 gig, and before that system was taking up 6.79 gigs. So it's not taking like a large amount of space, it's average, and that's the standard that you should be seeing around that age. You shouldn't be seeing system taking up like 9 or 12 gigs. That would be insane. So that's the average system storage size. And basically, let's go talk about the new features and changes. Now, just in case you've missed this or are not aware, Spotify was actually updated. So if you go to the like portion, you now have the ability to sort by different genres. So as you can see, if you select like happy, you get all these songs here, and it will basically sort of organize your songs according to the genre or the mood that you have selected. So it's good to see that they've added this, and that's good, but it's more of a Spotify update and not an iOS update. When it comes to iOS, let me show you what has changed here. So if we go to the software update page and click where it says automatic download, you can see that it says download iOS updates. Now if we click here where it says on or turn this on, you can see that it says install iOS updates. Now as you can tell, something looks different from what we had on beta 4. Let me just show you what we had on beta 4 side by side so that you can see. So before, on this is beta 4 that is on this device, you can see that I'm being prompted to actually update to beta 5, but automatic updates, if you click there, it says download new updates, and on beta 5 it says download iOS update. If you turn this on, also it says install security updates, and on beta 5 it says install iOS update. So they've added iOS on beta 5, and on beta 4 it just mentioned that new update term, as you can see here. So it's good that they've added this. It's more of, you know, a convenient feature in a sense. Also, another change that came with this update that I have to mention has to do with the update in itself. So as you can see, it came around 200 megabytes, 215 to be specific for me, but the update time was like so quick. I actually didn't think my device had already completed the update, so I had to go back into settings to make sure I was up to date, and yeah, I had the latest update. So basically, I'm trying to say that this update, like, the installation was quick and smooth, and Apple seems to be getting something right when it comes to the installation process. And it wasn't only for iOS 14.5 beta 5, but also on watchOS 7.4 beta 5 the installation was super smooth. So yeah, I also covered this watchOS update. Make sure you check it out on the channel in case you are curious. And something else that has changed a little bit too, I found this on some threads on Twitter. People are mentioning that this update bar has sort of been shrinked a little bit. So compared to what we had on beta 4, the preparing for update, you can see the blue bar has sort of shrinked a little bit. It's not something that you notice right off the bat, but if you do look for it and compare, you might be able to see the difference, although it's not something major, or it's something that doesn't have a significant effect on the updates. Now, also something else that changed for me on my device, specifically since most of my devices are on the beta, I was having issues with AirDrop. So AirDrop for me wasn't working at all, but here on iOS 14.5 beta 5, my AirDrop is now working, and I can sort of send files or pictures or whatever I want to send using AirDrop to my other devices with this iOS 14.5, and it's working across Macs and across different Apple devices, which is a good thing. Before, there was an issue with that. And just in case you're not aware of this, so iWorks was updated, and with iWorks application, I'm talking of Numbers, Pages, and Keynote. They were updated with some new features and changes. So if you use those apps, it's something that you can always check out. And just in case you heard that, so I'm having this bug whereby if I open the keyboard for the first time and I type something just like you heard there, the volume of the first tap is like exaggerated. It's like on full blast. So that's one of the bugs that I've been experiencing with this update. And the other bug that is being reported has to do with the music app, whereby if you try to go and look for songs or albums that you've saved, they sort of load a little bit slow. So that seems to be a bug that's here on 14.5 beta 5. And also the last thing that I have to mention has to do with the update in itself. So I did post this on Twitter, whereby I was trying to update my device initially when the update came out. Like for the first 30 to 45 minutes I was having an error, and after that I managed to get through, but it was a struggle. And yeah, that's most of the bugs that I've been experiencing with this iOS 14.5. Now when it comes to performance, I did run Geekbench 5 just to see how good this device is performing compared to beta 4. So let's compare CPU with beta 4. So these are the results that I got on beta 5 for CPU, 915 for single core and 2308 for multi-core. Compare this to what I had on beta 4, 910 and 1955. So you can see how stable in terms of performance beta 5 is. It outscores beta 4 on both single core and multi-core, which is a good thing. I also ran Geekbench Core just to see how good the GPU or the compute performance is, and on beta 5 I got a score of 3841, and compared to what I had on beta 4, I had 3628. So again, as you can see, beta 5 leaves beta 4 in the dust. So they are getting something right. It's more stable, and it does come with stability improvements and security enhancements. So it's a good update, and if you haven't updated and are on iOS 14.5 beta, then I do advise that you update to this. When it comes to battery, since I just updated, let me just show you what my battery looks like. So if I go to the battery section there and go to the battery health, 80%. Before that it was on 80%, and if we go back to see the last 10 days, you can see that I've been basically overcharging my device. So the battery, or the hours that I've been getting, I almost had to like charge my device to like 1.5 most of the time. I don't know if this update will change that, but I'll have to keep an eye on it, and perhaps if there's a lot of changes that come out with this, and if there's a good significant change when it comes to battery, good or negative, or something that's drastic, then I'll be able to cover it for you in a video. Other than that, that's how this update came in for me. Now, when we can expect this update to come out? So today is when Apple released beta 5, and since we know that now when it comes to iOS updates, Apple has moved on to weekly release cycles, so I'm looking forward to having a release candidate next week. And perhaps if the release candidate one that comes out is final and there's no need for an RC2, then in the first week or second week of April, I'm looking forward to the official release. That's when I think Apple will be able to release this, but things do change. Sometimes Apple releases a release candidate one and they realize that it wasn't enough and there's a need for an RC2. So if that does happen, then RC1 will come out next week, RC2 the following week or the first week of April, and the release will be somewhere mid-April. So I hope that doesn't get there and RC1 becomes final, and that will mean that we get the official version sooner. So that's sort of my rough prediction, and that's also about it for me when it comes to this update. If you like the video, please leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe down below, and stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Peace.